Well, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in across the globe. Dave coming to you here this week with my 180 interview series. And I am so blessed this week, as I am every week, to have somebody of Betty's caliber come on and be able to share her story with you. This is my good friend, Betty Ogiel Rubanga from Kampala, Uganda. Betty, I know it's nighttime over there. Before I get you to share with us, folks, I want you to just sit back. I want you to take notes and I want you to listen to this right now. This is so powerful. This woman, this is a short bio that I'm going to read you. And I felt that it's so compelled that you listen to this young lady's story. She's a transformational and resilience coach, an inspiring speaker, the author of the book, and I'm blessed, I have one, Against All Odds. You could get it on Amazon. Okay? And a multiple award-winning human resource practitioner. She inspires and challenges people to discover their life's purpose and to maximize their potential. Betty overcame the odds of paralysis, speech loss, and impairment that resulted from a motor accident in 2006. To revive her career and follow her passion and purpose in life, by the grace and mercy of God, she hosts the monthly life-transforming Against All Odds talks, which inspire hope and resilience. Betty was the overall winner of the John Maxwell Team DNA Culture Award for 2021. And I had the pleasure of being with Betty when she was this year's stage time finalist with our other John Maxwell team members. So I definitely can tell you she has a powerful and compelling story. Betty also received the Peacemaker Award from the Global Prosperity and Peace Initiative in Kampala. Betty was named as one of Uganda's top 40 under 40 most inspirational women by the New Vision, a leading newspaper in Uganda. Betty's purpose is to inspire hope and transform lives, and she runs a foundation which supports the vulnerable orphans to attain an education. Now, folks, if that isn't powerful enough, you get the opportunity to hear from my great friend, Betty. Betty, welcome to the show. I am so blessed to have you here with me on this Friday. Good evening. How is life treating you? How are things going?
Thank you so much, Deb. And life is okay. I am great and grateful as usual to God. Yes. Thank you for inviting me to this this 180 Revolution program.
Yes. Now, you know, the 180 Revolution is a book written by our actual founder and of the actual platform, Dr. Rick Ruperto. And, you know, if anybody understands about what the doc mentions in his book, it's about going through setbacks in life, finding joy in God's promise, knowing your truth, showing up, remaining steadfast, and then breaking through the walls. And I think you completed that just with what I read in your journey right here. And you continue to inspire people to this day. But I have to ask you, what brought you here to the 180 Revolution?
Thank you so much, Dave. You are awesome. And I would just like to take this time to celebrate the person you are and the fact that you hosted me in this program. I am here to tonight. It is 7:34 in Kampala, Uganda. I am here to inspire hope, challenge excuses, and impact a life. That is why I am here.
This is, folks, I can't. You just, if you're not watching right now, you need to make sure you come back and watch this later on. So Betty, I obviously I'm reading your book, and I know a bit more because we've met in person. Um, it's your turn to share your story with us, please.
Dave, I don't know if you have ever seen a beautiful plant budding through the cracks of concrete. That is the
Mhm.
total representation of all my life against all odds. So, um, growing up as a destitute orphan girl in the remotest region in Uganda, I was not only hurt um, physically by beating um, every day for nothing and everything, but I was also psychologically um, humiliated and emotionally tortured. These were my daily meals. Um, at a young age, I was abandoned by my guardian, and I had to find for myself at the age of 14, having lost my dad at the age of 3, left to a peasant mother who had 7 children to look after. So education was not a priority to her. Feeding us was only priority, because otherwise we would have died of hunger. So I had a tough, rough life, um, and I faced obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. I was poisoned by a neighbor who was supposed to be my good Samaritan. She got tired of feeding me, and one day she just decided to help me tell my story. So and I don't know how I survived that. It was the grace of God which pulled me through. After I had to get into brewing local potent gin, and I began smuggling the local potent gin across the border, 120 kilometers,
Wow.
without shoes. Um, and what was I doing? I was pursuing my dream of education. I wanted to go back to school, and I had nobody to pay my school fees. So I had to engage in this um, local illegal uh, business to get myself back to school. After fighting hard, tooth and nail, to um, get back to school, shortly after returning uh, to school, I was
Hmm.
bitten by a poisonous snake, um, and that was supposed to be the end of my story. But God works in miraculous ways.
Mm-hmm.
I survived that one also, and so I had no one paying my school fees. I had to work hard to keep, first of all, to take myself to school and to keep myself in school. And then um, um, after high school, I missed government sponsorship by 0.0,
Wow.
and I had no one to pay um, for my university or
Mm-hmm.
college at on a private sponsorship. But anyway, I applied on a private sponsorship by faith, and I stumbled onto a good Samaritan who helped me, a professor. Uh, um, at that time, he was the deputy vice chancellor
Mm-hmm.
at the university, Makerere University. He paid my tuition. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I was so poor that even the poor people did not want to associate with me. So I got school tuition, university tuition sorted, but I had no accommodation. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to get permission to sleep um, on the sports ground for 3 years while
Oh
pursuing
wow.
my
You slept on a sports grounds for three
yes.
years while you were going to university.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
I I I slept there for 3 years. Why did they allow me? Because I was an athlete, and
Okay.
I would represent the university
Mm-hmm.
and the country
Mm-hmm.
um, when we had university games. But I slept in the sports pavilion, the
Mm-hmm.
changing rooms. You know
Yep.
the changing rooms in the
Yes.
sports
Yeah.
pavilion
Sports. Yes.
have,
Exactly.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
have benches where
Yes.
sports. Now those benches were my
Mm-hmm.
bed for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Wow.
and it was unsafe. It was dangerous to sleep at the sports pavilion, the sports field. That time, because students would be killed um, at the sports ground,
Right.
and girls would be raped um, at the same place I was staying. But none of that happened to me. And by the grace of God, I am fine. So
Mm-hmm.
Um, I graduated. To cut the long story short, I graduated uh, with a second upper class degree in social sciences, social
Mm-hmm.
administration, and psychology is what I majored and minored in. I became the first and only um, uh, degree holder in my family, and
Mm-hmm.
the first degree holder in my clan. Maybe ever since Adam, Who knows?
Wow,
I don't
that's
know.
incredible. So obviously, just in the very short period of time of just pieces of your story, what helped you? What have you learned from the setbacks that you suffered?
Yes, and I have learned so many things, but the epitome of my suffering was after 4 years
Hmm.
out of campus when I got a motor car accident which rendered me paralyzed with a brain injury. I lost my ability to speak completely. I was taken to ground zero, and I got confined to a wheelchair, and I was written off. The car I was driving was written off, and people wrote me off, and the doctor declared me 100% disabled. I could not talk, I could not walk, I could not do anything apart from blinking my eyes. So what I have learned um, is that odds are the greatest breeding ground for greatness.
Oh, God,
When
just incredible. I mean,
oh,
just the powerful and the pain. And as you know, we talk about it on the 180 revolution. When you go through something that is so devastating for your life, it's easy to give up. You could have got in any one of those parts of your story. You could have just said enough already,
yes,
and just given up. And folks, she's here today because not only does she have the spirit and the coverage of the good Lord, but she has the resilience and the spark inside herself to say, you know something, if I can go through this type of setback in life, and she wants to show you that you can too. You can go through some things in your life. You can show up. You have to show up, and she did. She showed up in every instance. I mean, how many people out there would have gone to a university and slept in a locker room on a bench for 3 years? Are you kidding me? And then go and suffer a devastating accident where the only communication you got is blinking your eyes. And look at her today. She's not only written one book, but she's actually on the verge of writing a second one, but I'll let her share that at the end. So, was there any type of spiritual slogan or something that helped you along your journey? I know your faith in God is strong, and that there's no doubt my life carried you, as he says, when you're down, I don't walk beside you, I lift you up and I carry you. And
mm,
obviously he lifted you to heights that have given you the resilience to continue on life. So what would you say is your slogan or saying or a verse that's something that you would maybe go over and over in your head that would help you get through? And if you watch it and you got comments, just put your comments in there. I can actually stream them. We can, and if you have questions for Betty, definitely want to go ahead and share them with her. But yes, go ahead, Betty.
my slogan is there's a reason for everything, and nothing is permanent under the sun. Nothing is permanent under the sun, not even you and me. We are
Hmm.
here for a short time. We will leave this earth. And my verse that encourages me up to now is in Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God
Hmm.
and are called according to his purposes.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Everything, everything that has happened to me, God has turned it into beauty.
So at the beginning, you had mentioned about the cement and the flower blooming out of that cement. You could say the cement was the thing that kept coming up and trying
Yes.
to keep you down. And you
Mm.
were that flower that was bound and determined to get not only get through that cracks of the cement, but to break through and to bloom into the person that you've become today. So, how can we here at the 180 Revolution continue to add value to you?
Wow, that is a difficult question for me, Dave, because I'm used to adding value to others and serving others and not being served. But to answer you directly, um, how you in 180 revolution can
Mhm.
add value to me, just keep moving forward against all odds.
Oh, that's a
And
great. Is that how your book got titled? Right? You sure, folks. I'm going to show you this. I want you to go out there and get this book. Okay? I mean, read the story. And Betty, as before we get ready to close here, I know you are working on a second book. Can you share with the audience what your next project is and what you're working on?
yes, I am working on two projects. One of them is a second book, which is soon coming out. But the other project is the project I hinted to you about. I am looking for a movie producer to help me turn my story into a movie, because I have got this kind of requests from people who have read my first book. They say this would make a very beautiful movie for those who cannot read books. So yes, that is what I am working for, at now, and just invite me to share my story with the world. Help me share my story with the world, because people are suffering quietly.
Absolutely. And we are so blessed and honored that you've taken the time out of your schedule and out of your life and your mission in life to join us today here on the 180 Revolution platform. And I want to thank you personally. I look forward. I hope to get to see you again in March. Right? I'm sure. I'm sure. I will pray that you are there, and that we get to break bread again in March in Orlando. And I want you to know that I'm looking forward to your next book. If I remember the title, from wheelchair to high heels, or
Yes,
from
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah. So
yes.
folks, if you want, you need to go out to Amazon. This is a challenge to all you out there at the 180 Revolution. We started this platform with doing just this. We want to add value to people. We want people that are going to be positive and generally want to add value to others. Betty is doing that. She's written a book. She's working on a second one. She really cares about adding value to other people. So look her up. Try and help her. We need to find that cinematographer or videographer or producer, because when you read her story, it is a story the world needs to hear. And if you have any connections out there in the business world and you have the opportunity to help her out, please reach out to her. This is how we define helping others and adding value. She has such a compelling story. She has such a compelling heart. And if she can go through what she went through in life and still have a beautiful smile on her face. And like she says, she keeps moving forward. That's what we're here for on the 180 Revolution. We want you to celebrate and share your story with us. So if you're a member out there and you'd like to be interviewed on my series, messenger me. If you'd like to be able to connect with Betty, you can find her right on Facebook. Look her up, connect with her. It's just powerful, Betty. Thank you for the opportunity to come here. I'm going to give you the last words. Anything you like to share?
I would like to just ask all of you to take stock and look around what you have and consider being a blessing to anyone around you who may be deemed to be less fortunate. Be a blessing to others. We are all here for others. That is why I run Betty Ogiel Foundation to support girls, destitute girls, to attain an education. And the second and last thing, gifts and talents are our first indication that God has a purpose and a plan for us. So you help me go and discover, go and embrace your gifts and talents and put them out there to help others.
Oh,
Be
absolutely.
a
Go ahead.
blessing. Yes.
Yes,
So
it
God,
reminds me. I actually have a couple of folks that I know are watching here on the StreamYard, and one of them is my good friend Jennifer Abrahamson, and she has a saying at the every BNI meeting. If you've been blessed, be a blessing and have a blessed day. I think that is so you, Betty. You are a blessing. I am blessed more because now I have you in my life because of what you care and share to others. And folks, this is genuine stuff. These are people that really want to help show you that you can overcome any setback in life. And, as the doc says in his book, The 180 Revolution, it takes strength, it takes courage. We're here at the 180 to help you get through that, show you that you can go through any setback in life. When you find joy in the promise of God or whoever your spiritual guide may be, when you want to show up and remain steadfast, you will be like Betty. And you're not only going to break through them walls, you're going to blow up that cement and flourish into that flower. So thank you, Betty, for taking time out of your schedule. And I look so forward to seeing you again, my friend.
thank you. Thank you. And God bless you, Dave, and all those who are watching and those who will watch the recording. Be
Okay.
blessed.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.